Hello and welcome back to the Popculture Powerhouses. This week we are having a dad off. And no, it's not me and Hori, although we do still
I would
both
win.
love you. We have got Peter Griffin versus Homer Simpson. This is a very serious topic which we treat with the utmost respect. That's why we have 6 categories: iconicness, individuality, quality of adaptations, legacy, relatability, and personal preference.
Hmm.
Now, I know this probably came as a shock to you when you saw it, as it's very much not what we normally handle.
I mean, yes, but not. No, like the pairing makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Also, not really surprised that this has cropped up.
Yeah. So here's the thing. For the longest time, you would say Homer Simpson is the pop culture powerhouse. But The Simpsons has kind of faded now. And TikTok loves Family Guy.
Yeah, I think that's a generational thing that's happened there. Like, we grew up with the start of Family Guy and Simpsons was on TV. Like, well, for me anyway, Simpsons was on TV all the time. Then Family Guy came along.
Family Guy started the year I was born, so I grew up alongside Family
Okay,
Guy.
I grew up with just The Simpsons and then Family Guy on BBC Three. What a great
Mate,
channel that was.
BBC Three, 14 years old, BBC Three on. Double bill of Family Guy to double bill of American Dad every night. Fucking
Yeah.
sign me up.
But like, yeah, I get what you mean that it's The Simpsons has faded off a bit. I think it's still big. It's just the generation that like you that grew up alongside Family Guy are the same generation that are now all on TikTok.
Yeah.
So you're gonna post those more than you're gonna go find Simpsons
Do
shit.
you know what I think it was? Simpsons is of masterpiece of TV. It is genuinely one of the funniest shows ever made in the earlier seasons, and in the later seasons, it still has a lot of really good moments. They're just less frequent.
Mm.
When Family Guy came along, it was a little bit satirical of it, but also it had a bit of an edge to it. So you had anyone kind of like 12 to 16 when it first came out and wanted to rebel,
Yeah.
it was there for them. And then the generation like me who was born alongside it and grew up with it, it managed to grab us as well. And I think that's all they ever expected to get, maybe 2 generations. But they've now, because of TikTok and it being the kind of thing that can just very easily, like there are so many just very short, hilarious Family Guy moments that is perfect for TikTok. That it's now grabbed onto a whole new generation, and at the same time, the last 3 seasons of Family Guy have been made on Disney Plus for Disney Plus, and it's back to making like really good episodes again. Like Family Guy in the last 3 seasons is back to like close to how good it was from like season 6 to 12.
Right.
So I think them two things happening at the same time, as well as The Simpsons tapering off, has just caused all of a sudden, I think there are more 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds now that would recognise Peter Griffin and Stewie over Homer Simpson and Bart.
I think they would recognize both equally. I think when you ask them what they watched, they would go, "Oh, Family Guy. Haven't really watched Simpsons, but I know like everyone knows the Simpsons." It's that thing of like everyone knows them, but I think the amount of people that watch it over Family Guy has definitely shifted now to Family Guy's favor.
Yes. And that is why we've got our 6 categories to try and work out who we think is now the bigger pop culture powerhouse. But that is the logic of where this discussion comes from.
Yeah. I mean, iconicness, they're both iconic. And it's tough because Homer, I feel like Homer slightly edges ahead because of his age.
I do think he still has to be more iconic, doesn't he?
Just because there's a like a generation like above me that didn't really watch a lot of Family Guy, probably watched a lot of The Simpsons because that was like in its prime. So Whereas we all still know The Simpsons, so there's more above us that know The Simpsons over Peter Griffin.
We need to be completely clear here. There are 40-year-olds
Hmm.
who were 10 years old when, or not even 10 years old when The Simpsons started.
Yes, Simpsons been going.
And, like, don't get me wrong, while they will be getting less new fans than ever before, there will still be 10, 12, 13-year-olds who find season 1 of The Simpsons and start watching it, and they fall in love with it. Because I do think a lot of The Simpsons, at its best, is timeless comedy.
Yes, and Simpsons is constantly still brought up with the whole time traveling conspiracy of them telling the future consistently, and that will never go away because something else will happen in the future
because it's
that
fucking true.
happens.
Forget the conspiracy; it's fucking true. Matt Groening has some shit to answer for.
Maybe he's got a palantir and he just touches an oar and gets visions of the future.
It's creepy.
But like that stuff's not gonna stop. So like
no. But on the flip side, you've now got Peter Griffin being so iconic that he's doing Hot Ones.
Well, yeah.
Which is just fucking wild.
I think overall, I would say Homer is more iconic, but
I think he does just have to edge it.
In the current day, Peter's being more iconic in the present.
I can see in the next 5-10 years, maybe Peter getting equal or just overtaking him, but we're definitely not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Individuality. Let's be clear. Peter is a satire of Homer.
Yep.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Once Family Guy became less about taking the mick out of The Simpsons and that concept, and started to find its own footing, like when they stopped Stewie just being the evil baby and he became more well-rounded and him and Brian started having adventures.
Yeah.
Peter becomes his own character and is very individual to the point where, although I'm like Homer is more individual because he was the first, once again, as it went on, I feel like Peter has kind of grown a personality, like all of the characters did once it stopped just being a big joke.
Yeah, I feel like the Family Guy characters have maybe developed a bit more outside of where they started, whereas The Simpsons found their groove, and it's like there's nothing wrong with it, but like they found what their characters were, and they don't necessarily need to develop them further than that because it's what people are expecting. So exactly I think you're right in the sense of Peter has now slightly become a bit more individual, and that he went from a joke into being his own character. But then you could also say Homer was the first.
Without Homer, there is no Peter.
Yeah.
Tricky one. Now, this one is the only easy one as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
quality of adaptations.
Homer wins this with Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh my god, I was literally going to say the exact same thing.
That is a generational thing.
You beat me to that joke by 5 fucking seconds.
I thought you were about to go, what the fuck are you on about or something?
No, I was literally like, it's obviously Simpsons Hit and Run is the best adaptation of anything ever. Son of a bitch.
There has never been a better Simpsons game. Like,
no,
they've tried to do other Simpsons stuff, I think, but it's never. Yeah. They've never hit the spot. Everyone, and to this day, people want Simpsons Hit and Run remade. Like,
absolutely, and it will happen at some point. I'm convinced of it,
and I'll be happy when it does.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I can't believe you beat me to that joke. Fuck's sake.
Because I'm slightly older. I had a few years to get of playing it, but I mean, Simpsons has had games. Has Family Guy had any games yet?
It's had some mobile games.
Okay. I don't know.
I think there was some Family Guy comics, you know?
Hang on. Simpsons has had movies. Has Family Guy had movies yet?
No, Family Guy's not in a movie yet. They've only just started getting Christmas specials, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, their Christmas specials used to be Star Wars specials.
There are some Family Guy comics, which I've not read, but now that I know they exist, I kind of feel like I could get one.
But like, Simpsons has films. You've got the different Simpsons movies. I think there's 2 or 3.
Is there? I thought there was only the one. The famous one.
There's the Dome one.
Yeah.
I think there's a
It's
second.
Simpsons
I'm
movie.
sure there's a second Simpsons movie.
Now I'm gonna have to Google it.
So am I.
Simpsons movies. No, it's just the one, the Simpsons
Is
movie,
it? Why?
2007.
I had in my head there was a second one. I take it back.
There's one of them fake like trailers for a live action Simpsons
Oh
movie.
God. I mean, you also had the. I suppose like you could also say it's not really an adaptation, but I was gonna say like the Simpsons specials, like the Halloween specials, they've done over
Yeah,
the years and stuff.
I genuinely believe the Simpsons have better
Yeah.
quality of adaptations. Through their games, through the film, and while we kind of took away from the slightly the individuality of like they found their groove, they never really changed. That is a real strength of quality of adaptation. You know what you're getting from Maggie, Bart, Lisa, Homer,
I
etc.
will say, we were wrong. Family Guy has had some sort of video game adaptation. You can be Family Guy. You can be Peter Griffin in Fortnite.
Oh my god! Oh, that's big. That's big money. Big bucks, no
It
annies.
is, but it's not its
that
own
also
standalone.
that also lends to the popularity that it's gaining in the modern era,
Yeah.
which I never thought Family. I genuinely, when I was like 15, 16, and I started to grow out of Family Guy a little bit, without realizing I come back to it in my 20s, I was like, we will be the last generation that finds this funny. And I'm actually, now that I've come back into it and I found out that it survived in another generation, I am quite happy. Because I will rewatch Family Guy when I need stimulation, but like I don't want to watch something brand new. And I'm like, you know what? There's some fucking awesome episodes in here that are peak comedy.
But I do still think The Simpsons edges it.
I agree. Legacy.
I mean, The Simpsons legacy is Family Guy.
Yes. But what's Family Guy's legacy? Because I think the Curse You Vile Woman, the time travel episodes, the Peter and Chicken fights,
Yeah.
like
Period.
to this day,
But then you have like
you've
Bart
just
and
got
Sideshow Bart, but this is Homer we're talking about.
hundreds of thousands of memes that have come from Family Guy that still get brought up today. Like, how often do you see like the clip of like Peter saying to Quagmire, "Who the fuck starts a conversation like that?" Like on Twitter as a response to someone saying something out of pocket and shit like that.
It's tough because I think you've always got to look at it as like, what's Homer's legacy versus Peter's?
Oh, actually, massive counterpoint here that I've just realised I do.
Go on.
When we go to Sainsbury's occasionally to get donuts, we will look at donuts, and there will be chocolate donuts, and then there will be pink donuts, and I will go every single time without even realising it. Chocolate donut or Simpsons donut.
Yeah.
That is a huge kind of legacy that I see a pink donut with sprinkles, and I go Simpsons.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in pop culture
And
like that.
Eat My Shorts is huge as well.
Yeah, but like the dough, the whole Sideshow Bob stuff from Homer and like Duff Beer. I think because Homer's legacy is Peter Griffin, it kind of feels like it has to lean to Homer.
Yeah, no, I get that exactly. Relatability.
Well, as you know, I work in a nuclear. No. I mean,
they're both such ridiculous caricatures. They can't really be. Do you know what Peter is?
Go on.
Peter is who I fear becoming. And he works as a driving force to try and be better. Whereas Homer is just like, he's just Homer. Yeah, Homer's a bumbling idiot, but his entire family loves him and he loves them.
It's tough because deep down, I don't want to become either of these.
No.
But both are just dads with a family.
Let me put it this way. Homer is, if everything goes wrong, I still want a family who loves me and I love them. Peter is, if everything goes wrong, I'm going to make everyone in my life's fucking problem that stuff went wrong.
Yeah.
So, like, Peter is who I don't want to become. And Homer is like, if it goes to shit, I want to be Homer Simpson. Like, if I'm just in the spot where I'm like, this is my life now, I'm like, the least I can have is a family that I love and loves me back. It's like American Dream versus American reality.
Yeah. It is.
But
It's
yeah,
a
I don't
weird
think
one.
either of them are particularly relatable.
No.
I think they have relatable qualities,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
they are not inherently relatable.
I'd like to be Homer pranking his son with a chainsaw and brownies at 2 in the morning.
Like, that's just that. Like, that's good old clean comedy.
Yeah. Personal preference.
I'm a Peter Griffin man. I love Family Guy so much. I watched it regularly even to this day, and I don't think I'll ever stop.
It's tough because obviously I grew up on Simpsons first, then into Family Guy, and then kind of stopped watching both of them. I would say I probably would look at it more like if they're both on, I'm more likely to watch Family Guy, I think. If there's like 2 channels and one's on each, like I think I'm more likely to put Family Guy on.
I feel like The Simpsons is way too more likely to go and watch a particular episode. Whereas if you just see Family Guys on and you don't know what episode it is, you're like, chances are it'll make me laugh a couple of times. So I'm going to just take the punt.
Yeah.
Okay. So, without even totting this up, I know Homer's won here. He won iconicness, individuality, quality, legacy, relatability was a tie. He's won 5-0. No, sorry, 4-0, because personal preference is split. The real question here, because that is a massive surprise. Do you see a world in the next few years where Peter Griffin overtakes Homer Simpson in pop culture impact?
I think so. There's some of these that obviously like legacy. It's tough for him to get past Homer because without Homer, he's not there, sort of thing. But like, there is definitely a world here, I think, where Peter Griffin and the Family Guy show continues to keep running while The Simpsons just sort of feels like it's walking now.
Yeah.
That it'll just stay relevant in modern media.
I think because the way Family Guy structures itself to be the thing that rebellious 14-year-olds find, there's always going to be rebellious 14-year-olds. Yeah. So as long as you don't have people like us having kids and we like are always watching it and laughing at it, as our kids are growing up, they will still find it and use it to rebel.
Yeah.
So this is the message to all you Family Guy lovers. Even if you want to keep watching Family Guy as you grow up, don't ever let your kids watch it with you, because then they won't realise it's rebellious to watch it.
Yeah, we have to stop watching it when we hit a certain age, unfortunately.
Or just secretly watch it when they're not around. Just to keep the show alive by having them rebel against it.
And what you do is if they put it on the TV, you say, no, you're not allowed to watch that, then they go watch it.
Far too inappropriate. You can't be watching that at all. Imagine just gaslighting your child into becoming a Family Guy fan.
Meanwhile, little did they know their dad was having bottomless brunch and drinking 10 pitchers of alcohol.
There wasn't 10. That's so dramatic. Anyway, drink your alcohol responsibly. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.